Wasn't there one conflict where you had to have someone else come in and help resolve it? Was it
Oh,
more that's the script thing or
yeah.
no?
So that wasn't with my crew directly. So actually, the origin of the idea of Ghost in the Gun was partly I was working with another friend at the time, and it was actually his idea about like a guy waking up in the desert and then like having a possessed gun. He had different ideas about things, but in any case, like we had brainstormed together one day, and then after that, I came up with the plot and I wrote the script and stuff like that. But we had gone our separate ways like at one point, so it was kind of like, well, but he was involved in the very initial process and genesis of the idea, and so it was like like it was important to give proper credit to him, but the question is sort of how, because I had put in a lot of like most of the effort, in terms of like actually coming up with the plot, writing the script, putting together the production and this and that. So we, I think when we were initially talking, like we just couldn't get on the same page because he felt that he was responsible for a lot of it because like, he was an important part of the initial kernel of the idea.
Mhm.
Um, But so what we ended up doing was we ended up having like a third party, not exactly an arbitrator, but like someone who like facilitated the conversation so that we can sort of understand each other better and maybe like empathize and stuff. And so and I didn't even know that was an option, but like when I was working at the media center, they one of the people there made the suggestion, and I was like, okay. So we're both okay with having a third person like help facilitate our discussion. And so we sat down and we were able to like kind of talk through it and hash it out. And we came to an agreement that I would put his name in the credits for story development, that sort of thing, and which was fine with me because that reflects what happened. Um, and then he was satisfied because he did get some credit for it that was that he was a part of. So we were able to do that, and I was glad that we were able to have that resolution.
It sounds like though you, at least in your part, you wanted to, you were committed to trying to find a solution. You just didn't want to like say screw you, I don't care what you think kind of thing.
Well, it's not just that, but I think a lot of times it's a fear because it's like my fear might be like that he wants to have control of the film or whatever. And so like, from that fear, I could have been like to try to block him out completely because I'm would be afraid that if he was got his foot in the door at all, that like it might, wreck the whole production or something like that. But like, you know, if you can kind of put aside your fears for a second and then figure out like, yes, I do want to like resolve this, and like if both parties are willing to do that, and then like figure out what is it that exactly that they want, it may actually be turn out to be different than what you think that they want, and which was the case, you know, here. It's like just wanting, recognition, credit for being involved in like the genesis of the idea. It's like to me, it's like, oh yeah, that's fair. That's what happened. I'm fine with giving, credit where credit's due. And and I think he thought that I wasn't willing to acknowledge him at all. And so once we were able
Uh,
to put aside those things, and it would be like, yes, there are things that we agree on in terms of like, acknowledging, credit where credit's due, then we were able to work something out. But
mhm.
like if you're just focused on your fear and what you believe the other person wants, then you may not get to that point. Like if you totally block, cut them out or block them or stonewall them, then you actually don't know what it is that they want when it's something that you actually might be able to agree with.
So part of it sounds like you have to listen to like truly listen to them to find out what they really want, not what you think they want.
Yeah, exactly.